My name is Yannick and I am a software architect that has experience in software engineering for over 10 years. Recently I started playing around with Unreal Engine and it is absolutely amazing, and I decided that as I learn things I'm going to add it as part of a curriculum that you can also learn from. You probably heard quite a bit about Unreal Engine 5, especially after that amazing promo video was released. It's an incredibly amazing tool, but what I've noticed is the documentation is far and few in between. There's a bunch of tutorials flying around on YouTube already, going into how Unreal Engine 5 works. What makes this different is that I will be learning alongside all of you. You'll see the mistakes that I make, you'll see how I learn from it, and you'll see how I get frustrated with myself. And by reflecting on what I've done wrong, maybe it will help you as well. So let's get started by looking at the interface. If you've used Unreal Engine 4 in the past, the first thing you'll notice is it looks completely different. But in a really good way, because it actually looks quite beautiful. The first mistake that I have made with Unreal Engine, and I used Unreal Engine 4 back in the day, but I mean that was years ago. The mistake that I made was I saw all these amazing things on the internet, people creating absolutely beautiful scenes in games, and I wanted to do the same. So what I did is I just dived in without understanding how this engine sits together, and it was a nightmare. I got so frustrated with myself that I just ended up abandoning it completely. The hard truth is that you are going to have to put in some time, but look, if you understand the basics, it's going to change everything for you. And don't worry, Faja is here for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about assets, and we're going to just go through how the interface sits together to build an amazing scene that you can show to your friends and family. In terms of assets, what do I mean with that? It's anything from 3D models to sound, materials. It's anything you see within a video or a game. Now, where do you get these assets? Well, you've got a couple of options. The first, you can go and buy them. The second is you can model them yourselves using free software such as Blender. You can even model it inside Unreal Engine if you really want to. And the third, and by far the best option in my opinion, is free assets. And guess what? Unreal Engine comes with thousands of them. It's in the form of a tool called Quixel Megascans, and as of Unreal Engine 5, it's built straight into the editor. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. We're going to select the blank template, select starter content, enable ray tracing if you have an RTX card, and call this asset project and create. It's going to take a couple of minutes, so you'll just have to be patient. And there we go. There we've got this open scene that we're actually not going to use. We're actually going to start from scratch, and we're going to create a new level. And then you get presented with this beautiful scene with the default sky set up in Unreal Engine with this cube. So what we're going to do now is we've got this tab here at the top called Bridge. If you don't have it here at the top, you can select the window button and just open it up from there. Now, if you don't have an account, you'll just have to go and create one. I will copy the link in the description so that you can just go and sign up. And if you do have an account, you'll just have to sign in, like what I'm going to do now. Fantastic, I'm signed in. So once you do have an account and you're signed in, so what we're going to do is we're just going to navigate around in Quixel Bridge. We've got some 3D assets here. We've got 3D plants. We have surfaces, decals, and imperfections. For this tutorial, we're mainly going to focus around 3D assets. Quixel Bridge has these environments set up for you. Well-known one is probably Xeric Shrublands. The reason I say this, it's got all these big rocks that you see in all the showcase videos. So let's recreate that. I've already downloaded a couple. If you still have to download it, all you have to do is select it. In the drop-down, select Nanite and say download. So what's Nanite? It allows you to import thousands of assets without any performance hits. Fantastic. Once done, we're going to press add, and like magic, it's going to be added to your project. We're going to wait for the static meshes and shaders to be compiled. Essentially what the shaders are, it sounds very complicated, but in Unreal Engine it's not. It's just materials with a bunch of textures, and you can do some fancy stuff with it. None of that's really important because you can just drag and drop this asset right into your scene. Once it's loaded, you can just drag it into your scene, and there you have it, a beautiful mountain face. What we can start doing is moving it around, duplicating it, rotating it, resizing it, just so that you can get some variation in there. What you can do now, since you have your sky set up, is press Ctrl L to rotate the sky. It's a very nifty shortcut, and then you just move your mouse around to position the sun. I really like these shadows coming off of the cliff, accentuating some of the highlights, so I'm going to leave it like that. So this is looking pretty great now, but we've got this flat looking cube at the bottom. We're going to add some more things at the bottom to make it look like rocks. I really like the sandstone rocky environment, so I'm just going to add that by doing exactly the same as what I've done earlier, and I'm just going to place them around, scale them like I did before. A cool little tip as well is there are some shortcuts that you can get used to. W-E-R. W is to move, E is to rotate, and R is to scale. Looking at this now, this is an absolutely great start to a scene that you've created yourself, so pat yourself on the back. Like I mentioned, you can drop as many of these assets in here as you like. Another amazing thing is within the Epic launcher, you have thousands of free assets that you can use. Epic also gives you free content every single month. I see there's new ones, so I'm actually going to add a couple. This Ultimate FPS Puzzle Kit is exactly what I need for my first person game, so I'm just going to grab it. What we also can do is select free Epic Game content, and you will see there are a bunch of models that you can download. A bunch of them are extremely high quality, and it's a gift to you from Epic Game, and I'm not endorsed by them, just by the way. There are also amazing plugins that I will link to in the description that I can't live without. Another way you can get some free assets is external sites like TurboSquid. You can just download them and pull it into Blender or your game engine. It is a little bit more tricky, but so worth it. Let's look at interior models and let's select the free option, and you can see there are a bunch of very high quality assets that you can use straight out of the box. I hope once you've created this beautiful scene, it's given you a bit more confidence, and it's also shown you that you can create amazing things in Unreal without touching a single line of code. And that in itself is remarkable. So well done. So this is everything for this video. I will be making follow-up videos. So as always, I really hope you enjoyed this video and have a lovely day until next time.